Welcome to my channel, Better Monday Fasting. In today's video, I wanted to give you guys a little update on my double fasting pattern. So before getting started, nothing I share in this video is medical advice. Always do your own research before making any health-related decisions. So today is the 11th day of Ramadan. So I'm Muslim, so I'm doing the Ramadan fasting, and I also wanted to stack another fast on top of the Ramadan fasting, because since all year round I'm doing the 18-6, it's very similar to Ramadan fasting. So I wanted to, for me, Ramadan to feel special and challenge more my body. And also lately I've been like losing a little bit of steam, losing my edge a little bit. So I decided to do the five-step stair pattern, which consists of 1 day of fasting, 1 day of eating, 2 days of fasting, 2 days of eating, 3 days of fasting, 3 days of eating, 4, 4, 5, 5. And now I'm at the second portion of the third step. So I already did a fast. I skipped 3 OMAD, and yesterday I broke my fast. And then tonight I'll be eating, tomorrow I'll be eating, and then I'll start a 4-day fast. So far it has been, the first step, it was about 42 hours of fasting. The second one was 66 hours, and then finally the one I did the past few days, it was a 90-hour fast. So I have those under my belt, and starting Tuesday I will be going for 4 days, then I'll be eating for 4 days, and then I'll be going for 5 days, and so on. Then it'll be the end of Ramadan. That's why I really like this pattern with Ramadan, because they lock in. You know, they're both like 30 days. So it really works well. I've done it in the past, but in the past I was doing it all dry, and then I learned that as far as the religious part is concerned, you have to break your fast. It's not like optional. So now what I'm doing is, like, every day I'm breaking my fast at iftar with water and coffee, and depending on the day of the 5-step fasting pattern, I eat or I don't eat. So that's what I'm doing right now, and it's pretty challenging. And that's why, like, I mean, even though last night I completed a 3-day fast, in theory it's 90 hours, so it's more than 72 hours, you know. And even the one before, it was 66 hours, and even the one before, it was 42. So it's the Ramadan fasting makes it that you know, like when you wake up on the day you're eating, well, you still you cannot eat until sunset, you know. So that's the challenge, and he also gives you about 14 hours or so of dry fasting during the day. So it's it's been overall very, very beneficial. I mean, especially on the days I've been fasting, I had amazing mental clarity, and also, you know, it gives you a lot of time in your hand to be productive and do things. You don't have to worry about cooking. You don't go into parasympathetic mode after digestion. So all those are the positives. But I have to say, it was kind of like, yeah, I'm being challenged. It affects a little bit of my work, because what's happening is, like, with the dry fasting in Ramadan, it's like I have less caffeinated brain, less hours of caffeinated brain. So that's been a challenge, and also, yeah, because it's it's dry, I'm still going to the gym, still going to the sauna. So even when I have time to work and all that, like it's like sometimes I had, even though I have the mental clarity and I feel light and all that, it was difficult to focus. It was a little difficult to focus on work. Whereas if I could, drink some electrolytes drink or coffee, I'll be fine, even with fasting, So that was the challenge, but I see it as an investment, It's like it's because dry fasting is really powerful. It goes deeper, and so all this is happening for a reason. And so the most challenging parts so far have been on the second and third step, coming back to eating. I mean, just the day after eating, it's like, the dream is over. It's like it's a little bit like a crash. It's a little bit like because now you've eaten, so the body needs to allocate energy to digestion. And it has to go back to that mode, instead of being fed from the inside, it's being fed from the outside again, and it has to adapt. And it takes a day. And and yesterday I got this 2-hour massage to finish the cycle. I got this 2-hour massage, and that might have even when I get the massage without fasting, it affects me because it's 2 hours, it's pretty deep. So the next day I feel like I've been in a minor car accident, it was a little bit like that. So now I had both, like it was like the massage and the end of the cycle. So crash, slept for 13 hours or so. So yeah, it's again, I see it as an investment, because during my fasting days I was waking up really early, and I could recuperate really fast with fewer hours of sleep. But I have faith, and I trust my body that all this is for it's doing its thing. Like I only need to adapt to what my body is communicating to me. So that's my approach. So if my body wants to sleep, I sleep. If the body is energized, I take advantage of it. And and last week it was good. I went to the gym 6 times, which is actually what I'm aiming for. I do 2 muscle groups. No, 1 muscle group a day, but I try to do it twice a week. So I divide the body in 3 muscle groups, and I try to repeat that twice a week. So that's the idea. But lately I'll do 4 to 5 instead of 6. So this week I was able to go 6 times to the gym and 6 times to sauna. So that was really good. Even though there were some days that I took a little bit easy at the gym, because like for example on the last fast, on the last day yesterday, I didn't have all that much energy. And during the week I had some days it's like you don't feel like pushing it. But I also had really good days. Where I could do some good cardio and rope jumping, and do some work with the machines and all that. So overall the experience is like it's constant adaptation. So that's what makes it hard. And when we do like two patterns stacked, one on top of the other. I mean, the most difficult part was to plan. You know, I have friends who want to see me. I have some business meetings and all that, and it's just not knowing how you're gonna feel. It makes you. It makes it a little difficult, because you know, when you're fasting, you're like, there are moments you're, you know, about to eat the world. You have all that energy, but if you book something, for example, like I was smart enough. Today is Sunday. I knew that I was going to crash. I knew that I was going to feel different, so I didn't book anything today. But I do have a business appointment tomorrow, even though here it's a holiday. But you know, like sometimes you find people who are willing to work on those days, and for me, it's always an extra point. You know, when you're with some people, they're like, "Oh, it's a holiday, but I don't care. We'll meet." I'm like, "Yeah, this is my kind of people." So then I have to be careful. But I think I'm gonna be. Yeah, now I'm back to eating, so I'll eat tonight, and I think I'll be fine with that. But yeah, it's not super easy, and it's not a solution in itself. Like it's not during the fast that it's going to create your lifestyle. You know, you're going to take advantage of the moment, you know, where you have good mental clarity, good energy to get things done. And when you feel more tired, you know, remind yourself that you're doing, you know, a challenging fast, and then take it easy. But this is not a lifestyle. This is more like you do that, so then once the fast is over and you recoup from the entire experience, then you'll have a better level of every day. Then you'll go back to a different routine where you can like with more repetition. What I'm gonna do is, like, I'm gonna go back. I mean, 18.6 is my base, so I'll go back to that. But I'm going to include more OMAD skipping. I think for me it's key, you know, because sometimes I skip a nomad every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks, and it does me a lot of good, but it's not enough. Like, I need to be myself, to have that mentality, and communicate also in a good way, the most accurate way possible, the message of fasting. I need to be fasting myself, more. I think I had a really good run in 2024. I was skipping between 1 to 3 OMADs a week, and that's when I wrote my book and I got a lot of done. I started my company, and it was great. And in 2000, I skipped a total of 67.5 days on top of the 18.6. intermittent fasting, so it's like over 2 months of not eating, you know. It's and on 2025 it was more like I don't remember, 18 day or something. Like, I just don't remember right now, but it was like a way lower digits of day of fasting. So I decided for 2026 to go back at fasting more, because for me it's not a luxury. Like, it's already the way, even before, you know, as when I had the nomadic life and everything. I mean, I'm over 50 years old, you know. I'm 50 and a half years old, and I don't relate to my age. And like says Clint Eastwood, you don't let the old guy coming in, you know. So I'm in that mentality, but in order to make that happen, you need fasting. And when I was a nomad, it was a important part of my lifestyle. Like fasting, skipping OMADs, and also like when I'm traveling, I wouldn't eat, things like that, and it always kept me, it gave me my edge and kept me like at a good level. Now that I'm back to the sedentary life, and when I say sedentary, it's that I'm not traveling anymore. I live in within my sedentary life, I walk everywhere, I go to the gym and all that, but you got to be careful, it's like it can make you lazy, it can make you because now you have a comfort zone again and all that, so it's so I think fasting is a good way to avoid that and challenge the body and keep the edge, keep the high performance going. Like it's hard to tell if yeah, I mean one thing I'm thinking about is like because somebody that has never did any fast, if they go with the 18-6 intermittent fasting, which I have one person I'm coaching, he's doing that and it completely changes life. Like he's like whoa, like but for a person like me, the 18-6, it doesn't do anything anymore. Probably like objectively I have a good level, I'm in good health, I'm doing all that stuff, but in terms of how I perceive it, I'm not like, oh my god, this is great, and the thing is like in order to get like the oh my god, I'm feeling great effect, well, you have to challenge the body from different angles with different fasting patterns. And the question I'm asking right now to myself is like, is this like, you cannot go forever, so to me it's obvious that it's good for you, but up to what point, because then it could also be, this is totally intellectual projection, but it can be like people who are addicted to sports or things like that. Of course sports is good for you, but like if you go overboard, then it's more questionable. And so that's kind of like the thing I'm questioning. Is a little bit like with addictions, you always need more to get the adrenaline rush, so that's where like I would like to know where's the limit. But one of my techniques with fasting is always especially after doing if you've been very like focusing a lot on fasting for several months or a year, to take vacation from fasting, for a while, not think about it. Don't limit yourself and let just follow your body, what you want to do. And it's like and that's where we see the progress, because for example, if I do that, if somebody tells me, you know what, I'll eat for 6 months, forget about fasting, and do whatever you want, eat how many times you want and all that, I'm pretty much sure that I will go for 18-6 intermittent fasting without any effort. That's where I will go naturally, because that's my base now, Whereas this could be like a challenging pattern for somebody, for example, who's always snacking and eating like 3, 4, or 5 meals a day. So yeah, like everything is relative. But with fasting, it's always like stress release during the actual fast on a micro level, but also in a macro level. If you take years, like you zoom out from your calendar, that once in a while you gotta go away from fasting, so you miss it and you come back and you let your body ask for it, because what happens is that usually with fasting is it does you a lot of good, and then when you come back to a more like eating every day type of rhythm, after a while Just like I was sharing, like it happened to me like lately. It's like you feel you're losing steam. You're like, man, this is not like I used to be better than that. You know, like what's going on? And usually it's a signal for come back to fasting. So that's a way that the body can communicate with us. If it's a good time to fast or not. But it all depends on the focus. It all depends on the focus of the fast, because maybe you're trying to cure like a, advanced condition. Maybe you're trying to gain weight, lose weight, do something. Like it depends on the focus. Like once I was talking to this girl, and she was she seemed to be very opinionated, and she will like if I put one argument in favor of fasting, she will come up with, yeah, but I cannot do that because I dance a lot and energy, and once I did it and I lost a lot of muscle, and no, it's not for me. And I'm a woman, you're a man, like always, like she had all her excuses like ready. And it's not that I'm right, she's wrong, she's right, I'm wrong. It depends on the focus. Like, of course, if you're preparing for like a marathon or something, maybe it's not a good time to fast right now. And if your focus right now you're in good health and your focus is to gain muscle, yeah, I mean in the short term it can affect negatively your goals. But the thing is, like, I mean, I didn't say that to her, but after rerunning the conversation in my head, I was like, well, who cares about your muscles, like if your pancreas is not working or if your liver is not working? So we have to see it as like maintenance, and sometimes when you do maintenance, I mean, even with physical objects, this restaurant you love to go every day and stuff, they have to clean the hood, or they have to clean the sewers or something. Well, they have to close down. They have to close down for a few days, and that means less money coming in, less fun. The customers, they're not happy. But if you don't do it, then you're going to run into bigger problems later. So that's also like with fasting. It's like, I think it's important to know where we are at with our health, and what's our focus. Because maybe you have a profile, you're 100% like healthy and everything, and then fasting is just to keep it that way. So you invested, you become more resilient, stronger, and all that. So if something negative hits you, you're readier than ever, So that could be it. But then if you already have an advanced condition and all that, and you're trying to cure yourself, that means you might have to make sacrifices, because it's like I often give that image. It's fasting is a little bit like money and fire. It's like credit card debt. Smaller your credit card debt, easier it's going to be to pay it off, and bigger it gets, just making the minimum payments is not enough. I had somebody in my family that was like suffering from several things. I mean, it's like alarms, like major things, and I kind of convinced that person, to embrace fasting, and she did, but she'll only do intermittent fasting. So it's like you're trying to extinguish like a huge, like a forest fire with a glass of water, Yeah, I mean, it's gonna do some good, but, like a bigger the fire, you gotta think about different strategies. The same with credit cards, like at one point when you're so much in debt that they're like, okay, now what we're gonna do, we're gonna transfer your debt to another account, and you'll be paying lower interest. Like they organize it like that, because just like with your small salary, like you won't be able to cover all that. So fasting is it depends on a lot of things, but the focus is like, why are you fasting right now? What's your purpose? I think that's really important. And for me, it's it's I just want to perform. Like for me, it's more so being healthy. It's already the minimum. Like I don't I don't see being healthy as a miracle. Like that should 100% health should be what we're asking. Should be the bare minimum. But we live in a sickness culture that that sounds like they made it a miracle, but it's not. I mean, that should be the base, and then it's like you got to be aligned with your purpose, and then grind it, and then to do that, you need to feel good, to be optimized, and all that. Like so I decided that like I find out that my purpose was to communicate the message of fasting. So I built a business around it. So I have all my business like duties. I have to take care of it, but also I need to be the proof of what I'm saying, right? So then like I need to go to the gym every day and all that. I mean, I would do it anyways. It's not something that I'm doing it for my business, but then very quickly you get once you're locked into your purpose, you're a very busy person, and then you have to optimize your time, your productivity, and all that, and how you feel, because if you don't feel good, like it makes it harder to get things done. So all those things are motivating me to fast, like to get more done, and to get the best position I can get in this life, because once you start having health problems, and you're even if you have the flu for 2 weeks, it's just 2 weeks. In 2 weeks you can do so many things, and that'll be lost. Or if you're God forbid, like if you're in the hospital or things like that, I mean, it can, depending on your budget and your situation with your insurance, like it could be devastating. You can, not only you're gonna waste time and not produce anything during that time, but also it could be, depending on what country you live, it could be the end, financially. So those are not like light topics, it's like, so for me it's fasting, it's the master tool that makes me get the most out of life, and to reach my true potential. So that's how I see it. That's what motivates me, and I avoid to be in a situation where I would need to use fasting as an emergency tool. More like a fireman. So I avoid that. So that's why, like, even when I'm feeling good, everything is good, I try to stick to it, so I can. So when the bad things come, I'll be more ready, And the bad things will come, It's like, that's the thing. I mean, it's just that's how life is, Everything is linked. So now, I have, I have my little systems. Everything is going well. I have access to food, to a shelter. I can get massages. I can go to the sauna, and all those things make that. I function well. But then it's just a matter of that. One thing going wrong. A financial crisis on a personal level, or on a global level, or a regional level, or now you find yourself in a position where maybe you don't have access to those things, and it's going to be more difficult. And if you're ready, well, then maybe you go through it, and then maybe later on there will be better times. But it could also be that if you're not strong enough, or the actual event is too brutal, then it can make you break, So that's how I see things. I mean, like I know that bad things will come. I mean, that's inevitable. So fasting, yeah, it gives me on top of all the physical, mental, and spiritual good. It also gives me confidence, you know. Even during those like longer fasts, you know, you're like, you know, you're not going to the grocery store. You're not, you know, you're separating yourself from the material. So that gives you confidence. You're like, okay, if it comes down to it, I can do it and still function. You know, still function and can face difficult times. Whereas if you're too addicted to your comfort, like each time your comfort is going to be threatened, you're going to be like, oh my God, you know, like it's gonna create stress. So on top of all the good that fasting is doing, it's also a great tool that gives me confidence. So that's about it for the updates. Like we've done third of the journey of those like two fasting patterns. So we have about 19 days left, and then it will be the end of Ramadan, and it will be the end of the stairs fasting pattern. So I do several things. I have several outlets if you're interested. So if you're interested in the fasting journey and you want to get your feet wet with that, I offer some coaching. Coaching is the most like, I mean, it's the, among everything I'm offering, it's going to be the most like personalized, you know, because it's difficult with fasting to have formulas, because we have to know where you're at and how you react, and with that information we can kind of navigate the ship, so to speak. So there's some fasting on one-on-one fasting available. You can book some time with me. I have a book that will be that's the cheapest solution, and it's pretty complete. So if you like to read, you can purchase the book. It's called For a Better Monday, and then you can then you'll have all the tools pretty much to start your journey at least. Then it's like I said, everybody is different. So in the book it's mostly my experience, but then you have to kind of find your way on your own. And if you like to find your way on your own, I have another product, and it's become your own fasting coach. So it's a course. So you have pretty much so with the book and the course, that could be if you're more of a self-starter, that can really help, because with the course you'll get all the tools to get started, but also then to analyze what's going on with your body and your findings from the terrain of fasting, and then organize yourself so you direct yourself towards the best direction for you to become better, to become healthier, and all that. So that's a good approach, but you're also kind of on your own. And then we can also put like we have another product. It's kind of like we're trying to get like some information from you to know where you're at, you know. And then we set up a program, even though I'm not, you know, if you know me, I'm not too much into the set programs, but we set a program after the information we gathered from you, and then that comes later with a 15-minute call later on you can take to say, well, I did this and this and that, and then that happened. And then we can give it another, you know, say, okay, well, now maybe you should, you know, we should go that direction or reduce that or do more that, you know. And that's also like it will be a good way to start. And then eventually you'll get, if that's working, you know, working on your own, and then being with a coach, and then working on your own, then you can book coaching time whenever you need it, you know. So you do the work yourself, and once you plateau or you hit something or there's something that happens that you don't know how to interpret it, then book a time with me, and then we'll go from there, you know. It's really like navigating a ship, you know. Fasting is like sometimes it's counterintuitive, sometimes you have to navigate against the wind, so you have to have strategies like to pass hurdles and all that, like there's going to be challenges, so it's like for that it's really difficult to say you do, you know, fast that many hours a week, you eat that, you eat this. No, it's like that doesn't work in a sustainable way. I mean, you can maybe pick something like that and then it will work for a while. It's great. Maybe you know, coincided, like you match the solution and your situation, it kind of matched somehow, and it is going to do you good. But then you need yeah, it's you know, the human body is alive, so it's part of the living realm, and so it's like the seasons and everything, you know. You cannot have the same strategy for winter that you have for summer. That's for that. And then I've been living in Latin America for the past 9 years, and 2 of which has been in Paraguay, and now I'm investing in real estate in Paraguay because I want to generate money locally. With the uncertainties of like the world where it's going, I want to depend less of the outside, and also like the whole system, you know, like once you're exchanging money, transferring money, or if you have you know, digital assets, you want to convert them, like at each step they're making money on your back, you know. It's like and money that is going away, making other people rich. So I prefer, now that I know that I'm living here, you know, generate some money in Guaranis locally and spend it in like that'll be way more efficient for me. So I'm trying to build that, and for that I've chosen the real estate, and there are really good opportunities here. Before I used to be super against real estate. I also thought that it was something to make the banker richer, you know. But here you can invest during construction with no interest, with monthly payments, no interest, at a lower price, you know. So it's a way of making 15 to 20% with your money within 18 months to 24 months, you know. So I'm involved in like 4 projects like that, and still not an expert, still not, I don't have a success story to sell, but I can already guide people with my approach and my the accumulated how do you say, the accumulated experience. And I have a hola. ¿Hay problema o?
Sí.
¿Cuál es la? Voy a terminar.
¿Usted tiene su documento?
Sí, por supuesto.
¿Usted es paraguayo?